Good evening, everyone. We will now begin the evening service of the Miroku Association headquarters, expressing our gratitude to God and Meishu-sama for blessings and protection received while participating in the construction of paradise on earth. Amatsu-Norito and Miroku Prayer. Please stand. Taka ama harani kamuzu marimasu. Kamurogi kamuromi no mikoto mochite. Tsume miyoya kamu izanagi no mikoto. Tsukushi no himuka no tachi hana no. Odo no ahagi harani. Misogi harai tamo utoki ni narimaseru. Araido no o kamitachi moro moro no magagoto tsumi kegareo. Harai tamae kiyome tamae tomao sukoto no yoshio. Amatsu kami kunitsu kami yao yorozu no kamitachi tomoni. Ame no fuchi koma no mini furi tatete. Kikoshime se to kashikomi momaosu. Miroku o mikami mamori tamae saki hai tamae. Miroku o mikami mamori tamae saki hai tamae. Ushie miyoya nushi no kami mamori tamae saki hai tamae. Ushie miyoya nushi no kami mamori tamae saki hai tamae. Nagara tamachi haimase. Nagara tamachi haimase. Great God of light, creator and giver of all life. In accordance with your divine will, the long age of night draws to an end. Your radiant divine light, shining ever more brilliantly, awakens the dawn of the glorious age of light, a time long awaited by all humanity. We thank you for guiding us to your divine plan and for the privilege of channeling and receiving Johrei. May our spirits and bodies be illuminated and purified as we live your truth given to us by Meishu-sama. Make us pure and effective instruments of your divine light so that we may serve you and all those with whom we come in contact. May paradise on earth be realized, with health, peace, and prosperity a reality in our lives. Great God of light, bless and protect us. Radiate our souls with your divine light so that we may truly become instruments of your great plan. Please be seated for group Johrei. May God Meishu-sama bless you. Teaching this evening from Daily Inspirations, page 91, is entitled Soul Polishing. It appears that God allows the dark forces to oppose us, much like the polishing stones of our souls, so that we may be strengthened and purified. Polish your soul, purify your mind and heart, in order to do your best to serve in God's plan to save the world. As a servant of God, purify the hearts and minds of others, and cleanse the world of all its impurities. If things don't seem to turn out for the best, it means you still have a substantial amount of clouds. The essence of our spiritual practice is to remove these clouds joyously, instead of removing them laboriously, through suffering and difficult training. This can be done by helping and serving others. If you do, their gratitude comes to you constantly in the form of light, and your soul is purified. Either process, helping, serving, and giving joy to others, or asceticism or rigorous training, will produce the same result, the purification of your soul. In order to be able to help others, you have to read and understand our teachings. Through our teachings, you gain a deeper understanding of spiritual truth, and thus, your soul will also be cleansed and purified. As your understanding becomes deeper, your Johrei becomes stronger. In this way, while helping and giving joy to others, you can raise your own spiritual level as well. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining this evening service of the Miroku Association headquarters. When we refer to soul polishing, in Japanese it's called mitama migaki. Meishu-sama refers to relationships. When we have a difficult, challenging relationship, this can be called a soul polishing, a mitama migaki. I had this situation with several years ago. A member would come to the Johrei Center, always in tears, always very upset, and was not just one, two, or three situations. Every single time she would come to the Johrei Center, was in tears, was not happy with her situation because she overstayed in this country, so she didn't have a proper documentation. And she was willing or thinking of going back to where she came from. And at the same time, didn't want to give up the life that she had here in the United States. So the situation was, this dilemma was going over and over. And that would upset me because as a member, I would expect her to try her best maybe to guide a friend, to guide a neighbor, but it was always the same situation. So as soon as she would come to the Johrei Center, I would feel something negative inside me. So it took me several years through prayer, through dedication, to overcome my own difficulty, until I finally realized and had gratitude to God and Meishu-sama for her existence, because she was polishing my soul for being who she was. So when I finally had this very strong, positive feeling about her existence, surrendering all my feelings, accepting her dilemma, if you will, was amazing because on that very week that I had that, finally, after 10 years, that realization, then she herself told me, Minister, I made up my mind. I'm going back to my country. And I'm very happy with my decision. I felt that was interesting because my change also bounced on her somehow, and she could finally make her decision. It was almost like she was assigned to give me this training. And once that training was over, she was permitted to fulfill her desire. And interestingly, one of her concerns was because of this lack of proper documentation, that she would never be able to return to this country and visit the places that she liked and her friends that she left here. But after less than 3 years, she was able to do that. She came on a tourist visit and fulfilled her desire to see the beautiful places that she liked and meeting her friends once again. So that was this soul polishing experience that I had. But also by soul polishing, we refer to, or mitama migaki, when we are doing a thorough cleanup. Let's say I'm cleaning my home, I'm cleaning here our Johrei center. And I'm doing with the, not just to clean physically, I'm at the same time cleaning my spirit, cleaning my soul, cleaning my issues, cleaning my spiritual clouds. So this we call mitama migaki. And I have here a faith experience that relates to that. This is from Risete Silva. She's from São Paulo, Brazil, and this was shared on December 9, 2020. Risete is 47 years old and has been a Johrei member for 20 years. Since she was a child, her relationship with her father was always difficult, to the point that she was afraid to talk to him because he was very strict, authoritarian, and a little cold. As she grew up, without realizing it, she ended up reproducing his behavior. In many situations, she faced him demonstrating her rebellion. Upon becoming a Johrei member, this improved a little, but their coexistence was still cold and distant. In early May this year, they had that was the last year, they had a very serious disagreement, and at the height of it, she said harsh things to him in an angry way and without thinking about the consequences. After a few days, her heart was getting tight, and she couldn't think of any alternative that could reverse the situation. So Risette went to seek guidance from a missionary at the Johrei Center who told her to stay calm and wait for the right time. This missionary showed Risette that this situation was the opportunity for her transformation. Risette reflected upon it and became very embarrassed by her own attitude. On the day of her dedication at the Johrei Center, in front of the altar, she asked Meishu-sama for forgiveness. At that moment, she felt that she should also ask her father for forgiveness. She began elevating her thoughts daily to God and Meishu-sama, expressing gratitude for her father's life and highlighting his qualities. She performed a mitama migaki, this dedication of cleansing and polishing the body and soul at her home, followed by reading Meishu-sama's teaching and offering prayers. During this moment, she felt an enormous desire to invite her father to receive Johrei. So she went to his house and offered him Johrei. To her surprise, he accepted. The following week, she repeated the invitation again and could channel Johrei to him one more time. With this practice, her feelings and posture towards him began to change. She shared situations from her personal life to him, something she had not done for a long time. He also confided to her some difficulties he was facing, and she promptly sought to help him. He was very appreciative and grateful. On his birthday, she gave him a present and a very tight hug, and he asked her, "Do you love me, daughter?" She replied, "Of course, I love you, Dad. I would do anything to see you happy." He went on to say, "You are a special daughter because you never left me. I don't keep any resentment towards you." In this way, their relationship became harmonious, and currently they live in peace, and he continues to receive Johrei. Through this experience, Rossetti learned that change must always start with the individual, and that one must never expect that changes will come from the other person. She gained permission to be elevated spiritually and bring about this inner change through our practices of faith and the study application of the divine writings of Meishu-sama's teachings in her daily life. She further expressed her gratitude by thanking God, Meishu-sama, and her ancestors for allowing her to experience this learning and to be able to realize paradise in her home and family. That was a very suitable experience, very nice experience regarding soul polishing. I want to thank you for attending this evening service. Wish you a blessed evening, blessed rest of this week. And with this concludes our evening service. Thank you very much.